Governor Roy Cooper says we have to wait another week before we find out the state's plan for reopening schools. News 13's Caitlin Penter talked with a teacher who's also a parent about the wait for what's next.
We want our children back in school safely.
Welcome to Jones.
Should kids go back to school in person?
It's a great question, and I wish I had a simple answer to it.
As state health officials try to figure out what to do.
On schools, we continue to get excellent input from teachers and superintendents and health officials.
We know that this virus spreads, and we need to also have protocols in place that if we see a positive case in a school, that we have particular protocols.
Teachers in our area are torn.
As the tourist economy reopens and cases in Buncombe County continue to rise, that is a real concern for a lot of educators.
Daniel Withrow, a teacher and president of the Asheville City Association of Educators, says if schools reopen, they have to follow CDC guidelines and masks will have to be worn in some capacity. Adding, if schools go online, that's challenging too.
I don't ever think that remote learning is going to be as effective for most students as in-person learning.
He says teachers feel like they've been caught in the middle.
A real concern is that this looks like it's becoming increasingly a partisan issue. And as that happens, people are writing to me saying they're feeling physically sick with anxiety.
He says the decision of what to do is that much harder because many teachers are parents themselves.
We're trying to figure out what we'll do with our own students, with our own children, if they're only in school half the time, but we're there all the time.
Caitlin Penter, News 13.
Governor Roy Cooper says they will present the formal school plan next week. And that's also when he will decide what to do with his executive order, which is set to expire July 17th.
These are anxious times, and you might be dealing with an economic hardship or teaching your kids at home or just plain boredom from being inside. Well, those things can lead some to drink more, to overindulge. In tonight's Consumer Reports, News 13's Jennifer Emmert tells us why we should keep your alcohol consumption in balance.
Sales of alcohol for home consumption were 22% higher this March compared to last year. And wine and beer delivery and carry-out cocktails are now permitted in most areas. All things that can lead even light to moderate drinkers to overindulge, which Consumer Reports says can come with potential downsides.
Heavy drinking obviously isn't healthy, and it can damage your liver and heart and cause other health problems. But over time, even moderate drinking can be harmful. It can raise the risk of some cancers, and it also harms the healthy bacteria that live in your gut, which help you protect against illnesses.
And even small amounts of alcohol can interact with some medications. So it's important to talk to your doctor or pharmacist for guidance. For most people, a glass of wine or beer with dinner or on a Zoom call with friends is generally fine. But it's important not to overdo it. So try to stick to no more than 1 drink a day if you're a woman, 2 if you're a man. And be sure you actually know what counts as 1 drink. It's probably less than you think. 12 ounces for beer, 5 ounces for wine, and 1.5 ounces a shot for spirits. And because wine glasses come in such a wide variety of shapes and sizes, don't eyeball it, use a measuring cup. And maybe skip that extra glass of wine before bed, even though as many as 20% of Americans have said they use alcohol to fall asleep.
Alcohol may help you nod off at first, but it interferes with the brain changes that take place in the later stages of sleep. So you may not sleep as well, or you could even wake up in the middle of the night.
Jennifer Emmert, News 13.
The state will open up nearly 300 drive-through and walk-up COVID-19 testing sites to help underserved communities. Officials say Hispanic and African-American populations are suffering higher rates of COVID-19. News 13's Kimberly King talked with a local pastor who's encouraging his community to get tested.
We're out and we're meeting in meetings with people.
Pastor James Grant says he and his brother, Senior Pastor Lewis Grant, are going into African-American neighborhoods encouraging people to get COVID tests.
It is definitely needed in our city. We still do social distancing here in our church.
Along with all protocols. News that the state will set up walk-up and drive-up sites this month, specifically in African-American residential areas, is something he feels is needed.
There are 8 live cases on positive right now for COVID up in the South French Broad area. Those people in that big facility need to be tested in all housing projects. It needs to be a mandate.
COVID-19 is also disproportionately impacting the Latino community.
They only make up 6% of Buncombe County's population, yet they represent 25 to 30% of the COVID cases.
No doctor's notes will be required at sites. Testing will be free and open to anyone who walks up. No insurance needed, something Shannon Cornelius says the Hispanic population struggles to afford.
Latinx community is pretty much everywhere in Asheville, and you'll see them a lot in all of Western North Carolina. So that's why it's important to have lots of testing sites available.
The state health department has contracted with 2 companies to set up the sites. In addition, the state has just announced it will deploy up to 250 community health workers to underserved areas with high COVID caseloads to help find individuals needing isolation a place to go, as well as assistance with testing and health needs. In Asheville, Kimberly King, News 13.